Florence Eshalomi.
Thank you, Chair. And Secretary of State, this is an issue that I have raised on a number of occasions, and I will keep raising because I think the issue of building safety is one that's not going to go away. I'll come back to a constituency reference, and I have a number of tall buildings in Vauxhall, and you'll know, you referenced Grenfell earlier, Secretary of State, that there are a number of victims of Grenfell tragedy that were disabled. Yes. And none of them had a personal evacuation plan. I'm contacted on an almost daily basis by constituents highlighting that the lift has been broken. And if there was a fire, none of those people would be able to get out safely. And the fact that the government reneged on its commitment to introduce a personal evacuation plan in high-rise properties, but instead went into a series of consultations upon consultations. And I know that you may not be able to answer this because obviously there's the judicial review coming forward next month. What is the rationale for the government not introducing that and consistently failing disabled people who live in high-rise buildings?
Yes. Well, I have a lot of sympathy with the concerns that you raised. This sounds like sort of bureaucratic backpassing, but let me try and answer as comprehensively as I can. The responsibility for policy in this area lies with the Home Office because, of course, the Home Office is the department that deals with fire and rescue services overall. One of the challenges there is the view of some professionals about what the correct and most proportionate approach might be to dealing with the safe evacuation of people living with disabilities. I'm not a professional in this area, so I have to listen with respect to what people in that area say. But I do have to say that I am of the view that we do need to recognise that the inquiry was pretty clear about what was required in this space. And when we're dealing with the set of challenges that we face with buildings in this country, the fact that there are many buildings in this country that have just one central staircase rather than two, the age of the buildings and so on, my own view is that we should deliberately set out to provide people living with disabilities that they have absolute assurance that we've done everything possible in order to ensure that plans for their safe evacuation are in place. And again, looking at one of the the key things from the Grenfell tragedy is that advice and protocols put in place by people who are fire safety experts are not appropriate in all circumstances given the challenges that we face with some of our buildings and some of the people in those buildings. So I know that sounds like a long and convoluted case, but basically I'm saying that we do need to move.
I hope so, because the fact that we've got PEEPs that are already mandatory in the workplace, I'm not sure why there seems to be this different delay in terms of looking at the issue of PEEPs in high-rise buildings.